All right, today we're going to go over a little bit of Inventor stuff. Okay, so first of all, you're going to look for that big yellow eye up here. You're going to double click that, and it's going to bring up Inventor. Now we're working with 2024. I'm going to take a sip of coffee here. And this is what it's going to come up to. Now, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to go up here to File. Okay, and we're going to click that button. We're going to come down here to Manage. And then we're going to go to Projects. Okay, click on Projects. And we're going to go New. New single user. Hit Next. Now we're going to give it a project name. And in this case, we're just going to call it Survey. Okay? That way, all your drawings will save into this spot. Go ahead and hit Finish. Okay? It says it doesn't exist. It should be created. Let me back up and let's decide where we want to put this. Under Documents, not necessarily for me. Let's go to local disk D. And make a new folder. Alright, so we'll call this Survey Files. And then we'll pick that. It says Folder, and then we'll hit OK. And now we've got our path set. Your path will basically just be to Documents. And you'll make a folder called Survey under Documents. So, and there we go. So there we have our thing, and now it's our active thing, so we can say we're done. All right, so now that we're done that, we're going to go to File, and we're going to go to New. Okay? New, create a file from the list of templates. This is the way I like to do it. That way you have all of this. Now, you have English and metric, and I haven't used mold design yet, so I don't know what to tell you about that. But each one has different files underneath it. So if you're doing just like inches and stuff, you can use this one. If you're doing millimeters, centimeters, you'll use this one. Okay? We're going to start off with this standard inch. And we just hit Create. And give it a second. Let it think about things, come to an agreement with itself, and eventually this thing will come up. And there's your seed. Okay, so that's your origin. Now, this is your little thing, and it can move around. Okay, I like to leave it so that I can move it out of the way if I need to. This is all your stuff. X planes, Y planes, and all that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the visibility on all of these so that you can see them. And then I'm going to hit this little home thing, and that'll give me an isometric view. So there's those, and here's our axis. See the line? These are the three planes that we're going to use the most. Now you can make other planes, okay, and use them as well, and we'll go over that later. But these are the ones you're going to start off with the most, okay? Now I'm going to go back and change that and change the visibility on all of those and turn it back off again. All right, so there you go. Now we're going to start a 2D sketch. So we got, now we get, there are planes that show up again, so we can start. I'm going to start, this is the front plane, if you look at your thing, front, okay? So, we're just going to start on this plane right here, and we're just going to sketch something out real quick. Now, notice this line's crooked. See this button right here? You can use that. See how it's got that vertical thing? Just pick that and then straighten that line up. Now that one got crooked, so we'll use this to straighten that one out. Now we all perpendicular ends. So that's all you have to do. You just sketch that. Now, you can spin that around, whatever. If you just click the box, it straightens it right back up. Now, if we want to give these some dimensions, all we got to do is add some dimensions to it. So we'll come over here, we'll click dimension. I'm just going to pick this line. It gives me one there. I'll pick this line, it gives me one there. Pick this line, one here. and take this line for one here. Now, here's the thing that's cool about this is you can take these and double click them, and then you can change them. So like 0.75 for that one. Got kind of big, didn't it? So let's make this bigger too. 2.5. 2.5. And then we'll make this 1.75 as well. And then you have your thing. All right. Now to make a solid out of it, use the extrude command. We'll just pick that. All right. Now we want to go 2.5 inches on that one. And there's our first piece. All right, I'm gonna pause right here because school is starting, and I'm sure these kids want to talk, so I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. So this is what we got. So you've got the cube over on the side here, and of course you can use it to either free rotate your view, or you can look at the top view, front view. Just use the arrows, back of it, left of it, underneath, and if you ever need to go back to the main, you just hit the home button right here and it'll take you back to that. Now, let's say I wanted to put something up here. So I want to do another piece that comes out and goes this way and comes down. So I'll just pick on the top here, and then I'll just do the same thing again. I'll just sketch what I want to do. So I'll start here, we'll go this way. And there we go. So there's that. All right, now, once again, we can put our dimensions on it. We'll just put the same dimensions. We'll do 2.5 here. We'll do 2.5 here. 0.75 here. And 0.75 here. All right. Finish that. Now, we're going to extrude that. Now, going the wrong direction, right? So you've got this little thing here, all right? Here's your direction. You can go one direction, the other direction, or start in the middle and go both directions and total that distance, or you can tell it two different distances to go. And then we got these down here. It goes all the way through. It goes to a spot, and it goes to the next spot. We're gonna use two, okay? So I'm gonna pick that, and I'm gonna use my cube, and I'm gonna scroll up under here, and I'm gonna pick this face. See, it brings it down to that face. And we hit OK, and now we've got a solid object. All right. Now, I want to put a hole right in here. There are two ways that I can do that, okay? The first way is to do a sketch. So I'll pick the face I want to do the sketch on and make my sketch. Then I can just draw my circle, and then I'll zoom in, and I can dimension where my circle is going to be. And then once I've got that, I can hit finish and then extrude it. Okay, now remember this through all, right? Now this joins and this cuts. So I'm gonna hit that to cut. See, it changes my direction and cuts all the way through. I wanna make sure it goes all the way through, so I'll hit that. All right, and there. And there's my hole. Okay. Now, here's my extrusion that I just made. All right. If I can hit this plus sign, there's the sketch that leads to the extrusion. So I can right click on this and edit the sketch, or I can right click on this and edit the feature. Okay, what edit feature does, it just brings this back up. Okay, and edit sketch brings your sketch back up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this extrusion. And it'll ask me if I want to delete the sketch with it, and I'll say yes, and that gets rid of that. Now, the other way you could do a hole is to use the hole command. So I'm going to pick hole, and I'm going to set the size of my hole, 0.75. All right, now I want that hole to be up on this face. So there it sits my hole. Now, I want it to be 1.25 from that face, and I want it to be 0.75 from that face. And I hit OK. And there's my hole again. Two ways to do a hole. And we'll cover more ways as we go through. But anyway, that is your basic setup on how these things work, okay? Most of the tools you're going to use are going to be up here. When you're doing your sketches, you'll be under Sketch. Start 2D sketch, and you got line, circle, arc, rectangle. And if you control splines, interpolated splines, equation curves, and bridge curves, most of the time you're going to be using line. Circles you can do by center point, tangents, or ellipses, okay? 3-point arcs, tangent arcs, and center point arcs. And then in the rectangle, you got 2-point, 3-point, 2-point center, 3-point center, slots, which are a lot of fun, and 3 or 4 different ways to do slots, okay? And then polygons. Then you got fillets, putting text in, and just setting points, okay? And another thing that's pretty cool is to project geometry. For example, let me open this. I'll start a sketch on this just to show you. Project geometry. I can pick that and then pick a edge, and it makes a line on that plane, okay? And we'll cover that as we go. I'll go ahead and delete that sketch. All right, you don't have to save this if you don't want to, but if you do decide to save it, it's pretty simple. Just hit the save button. It's going to go in the survey files that you set up, and you just give it a name. We'll call this Chapter 1 Practice. Okay. And then you can tell it what kind of part. And it's going to be an IPT file. And that is your basic part file. So we'll go ahead and save that. All right. I'll go ahead and put this back in the home view, and that'll zoom it right up in front. And we're good. All right. When we come back, we'll do the very first one at the end of Chapter 1, and we'll go from there.